He said that Jesus Christ has risen, and he is the open door.
Well, how you doing, everyone? Welcome to another episode of the Cajun Conservative, where we talk about life, we talk about liberty, we talk about the pursuit of happiness, and yes, we show the world that Cajuns do have intelligence. Hope you're having a good day, good week, wherever you are located. I am back in the saddle after taking an episode off. Much needed rest, ladies and gentlemen, and it wasn't just me, it was across BJS Media. We went ahead and took the weekend off to take a break. LB even went as far as to go to Tennessee to take a vacation, and that's why we just went ahead and took a weekend off. I was supposed to have some dental work done. Unfortunately, if you remember 2 or 3 episodes ago, I came here looking very sick, looking like I was about to croak, but I didn't. Thank the Lord. If I did, you'd be in trouble because you're listening to a ghost right now. So I took a break. Big thanks to Josh from Culper's Canteen Cup for coming and filling in for me, ladies and gentlemen. A great show. Go check it out. Episode 113, ladies and gentlemen. This is episode 114. Man, 15 episodes past 100. I'm still amazed that I made it this far, ladies and gentlemen. On Josh's episode, though, I do want to say this, and I know he's probably listening because Josh is also a faithful listener of the show. I listen to C3 as much as possible. So, but listen, I agreed with him 99.9%. And you might be asking, Isaac, what is the 0.1%? He's a Florida State fan, ladies and gentlemen. And Josh, you know, get along, get with a winning squad. LSU, baby. LSU. And look, this weekend, this is the only reason why I'm saying this, ladies and gentlemen. This weekend, LSU and Florida State play against each other. Now, Florida State is 1-0, but LSU season starts this Sunday night. So we have a lot of football here in Louisiana, ladies and gentlemen. The Saints play the Falcons, the Dirty Birds. But I'm sorry, all my friends from Atlanta. I'm sorry, but you probably feel the same way about the Aints. I mean, the Saints. I'm talking your terminology. But we play the Dirty Birds on Sunday afternoon at 12. Then we go ahead and we have LSU versus Florida State this weekend. I'm excited. College football's back. NFL. No, they don't play this week. No, I don't think so. The Saints might play the weekend after. I thought it maybe was the same weekend. But anyway, the football is back, ladies and gentlemen. And look, all my hardcore Republican friends that say we don't want to watch the NFL, we don't watch college football because of wokeness. Hey, that's what's great about America, ladies and gentlemen. We all have the freedom to go ahead and express ourselves or say, have our own opinions. So, but anyway, like I said, 99.9%, that was the only thing. And it wasn't even political. Just, Josh, if you're listening, I know you're laughing. Love you, my brother. Thank you again for coming up on the Cajun Conservative Show and being part of the guest hosts list. It is an honor and privilege to have you. Great episode, by the way, too. Great episode. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk about this because this started while I was on my semi-vacation. I want to ask a question. What is up with the left? Well, what is up with the Democrat Party in general? Because ladies and gentlemen, I have a hard time believing that these idiots that are on the left really care for this country. And look, I already had the title to this before because when I seen this, I'm like, yes, I have to talk about it because, and look, this was on the down low, unless you really listen to the news every day or you read news articles like I do. And look, this is the thing I do. When I go on vacation, ladies and gentlemen, I try not to read news articles. I try to not study. I try to spend time with the family, basically. But this caught my attention, this and another story while I was gone. And I got this from the Daily Wire. California expected to ban sale of new gas cars. Now, this was done on August 24th, which was last Wednesday. California is set to ban the sale of new gasoline-powered cars by 2035. And an unprecedented plan expected to pass the state's regulation is to vote on Thursday. Now, this has passed according to, let me go to the Daily Caller. Biden administration handed California the power to mandate EV nationwide. California has passed new regulations that will ban the sale of gas-powered vehicles. The new emission rule, which will permitted by the Biden administration, will have a wide-ranging effect beyond California and could accelerate the nation's transit to electric cars. California Air Research Board, the CARB, finalized the rule Thursday that will outlaw the sale of gas-fueled cars by 2035. The law may push to increase numbers of states to adapt similar rules to force Americans to exclusively buy electric vehicles, the EVs, as number of Democrat-run states such as New York, Massachusetts, Maryland, routinely adapt California's clean car standard, according to the data from the Maryland Department of Environment. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this has happened already. As I go to my notes, this is an article from the Daily Wire. 2 more states follow California's ban on New York gas cars. Washington and Massachusetts are following. Now, this was done on the 26th of August. Washington and Massachusetts are following the policy of California to ban the sale of new gasoline-powered cars by 2035. Rules from California Air Resource Board require 35% of new vehicles to produce zero emissions by 2026 before raising it to 68 benchmark by 2030 and 100% level by 2035. Both Washington and Massachusetts has enacted legislation confirming the state to recommend from CARB as of 2019, according to the agenda. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is why. If you listen to this video, if you're watching this video, or if you listen to the audio, this is why I titled this episode, The Democrats' War on Fossil Fuels. Ladies and gentlemen, first off, there's a couple of points I want to bring out here. This is weakening our nation, ladies and gentlemen. This right here, these type of policies, first off, forcing the American people to buy EVs, electric vehicles that they cannot afford. Ladies and gentlemen, I recently bought, a couple of months ago, I recently bought a new vehicle for my wife. No, it was not gas. I mean, it was gas. It was not EV. And it cost me almost $30,000, give or take, after the taxes and everything of that nature. I bought a new vehicle for my wife, and it is gas, but it was $30,000. Ladies and gentlemen, I could not afford an electric vehicle. I could not afford something of that luxury like a Tesla or an electric vehicle to go around. And ladies and gentlemen, there's people out there now that are buying these EVs that are saying the battery, if it goes out, costs just as much as the car. You're not paying for the car. You're just paying for the battery if you think about it. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Gavin Newsom is forcing his citizens of California to buy electric vehicles. Are we in the land of the free and home of the brave? Are we in a country that goes ahead and gives you the freedom to buy the car of your choosing? Listen, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to come behind this microphone and say you have to buy gas vehicles. I'm not going to come behind this microphone and tell you got to buy electric vehicles. Why? Because that is your God-given right to decide what you want to buy, ladies and gentlemen. It's not my choice or the government's choice. But ladies and gentlemen, they are pushing to stop fossil fuel. Now, we shouldn't be surprised that the Biden administration is pushing this. But Joe Biden said that he was going to do this when he was running. Also, remember, it was Donald Trump that predicted that we were paying close to $7 a gallon. Guess what? We topped off as a nation over $5 a gallon, ladies and gentlemen. And the president is taking credit now for lowering gas prices when he was the one that put them up. Because the question still has not been asked. And I promise you, if I was in the press room, I would ask this question. If you could have brought the gas prices down this much in that short of a time, why didn't you do it when it hit $3 a gallon? Why didn't you do it when it hit $4 a gallon? Why didn't you do it? Well, we did it when it was $5 a gallon. No, you did it because of the midterms. Ladies and gentlemen, now this is all because of climate change bull crap. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry. And you know what? Fact checkers, this is my opinion. I gotta say this, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, you know, But there's no such thing as global climate change. Well, correction. There is a thing called climate change. Summer, winter, fall, spring. That's climate change. Climate changes 4 times a year, ladies and gentlemen. It has always been hot. It always gets cold. We're in a cycle of the atmosphere, ladies and gentlemen. Climate change, yes, there is climate change, but it's a normal thing. It's not getting hot. It's not getting super duper hot. It's not getting super duper cold. And look, you notice this, ladies. Like, look, prime example. Here in Louisiana, thank the Lord, we have not had no hurricanes yet. But do you know the environmentalists are going to go, that's because of climate change. We're not getting that many hurricanes. But when there's 20 hurricanes in the Gulf of Mexico, you hear, oh, that's because of climate change. Like people, yeah, you see that circular reason, ladies and gentlemen. They used to call it global cooling back in the 80s and the 90s. Then it went to global warming, and then when it was getting cold, where Al Gore had a global warming summit, and people couldn't go because it was snowing cats and dogs outside. He couldn't do it. Ladies and gentlemen, and look, this is weakening our nation. That's beside the point right here. Ladies and gentlemen, do you think China is going to go ahead and go all EV? No. You know what's the most popular, polluted place in the world? China. Especially Beijing. Don't you remember when they had the Olympics there? They were warning people of the pollution that was around Beijing. Do you really think they're going to go to electric vehicles? Of course not. Do you think Russia is going to go to electric vehicles? Of course not. Why? Because Russia knows that the power is in the oil. And ladies and gentlemen, this whole thing, oh, the environment's bad. Oh, we're going to hurt the environment. No, we're not. Ladies and gentlemen, God put the oil there for a reason. Now, this is causing chaos all over the nation, ladies and gentlemen. As I said, and this is where it's coming to. California doing this is going to set a standard for states to go ahead and try to keep up. What we're going to have to do is, it's not going to be red states, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be blue states, as I just said, Washington and Massachusetts. Now, we're going to go to Virginia. Virginia is having a problem with this because before Glenn Youngkin became the governor of Virginia, Virginia went ahead and put a policy based on cutting emissions down in vehicles. This is from the Daily Wire. Ridiculous ethics. Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin blasts California gas car phase out. Governor Glenn Youngkin blasts California's new electric vehicle plan that would ban the sale of new gas-powered cars in 2035, saying he will push to block the effort from spreading to the Old Dominion. Youngkin shared the remarks in a statement on social media Friday, which was the 28th. No, the 26th of August. In an effort to turn Virginia into California, liberal politicians who previously ran our government sold Virginia out by subjecting Virginian drivers to California vehicle laws. Youngkin wrote, now under that pact, Virginians will be forced to adapt the California laws that prohibit the sale of gas and diesel fuel vehicles. I am already in the work to prevent this ridiculous ethic from being forced on Virginians. Californians' out-of-touch laws have no place in Commonwealth, he added. Now, like I said, Glenn Youngkin is fighting this because Glenn Youngkin, basically, like I said, just said they sold out Virginians. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the thing. The left does not care about you. They want power. They have greed. 9 out of 10, and wouldn't be surprised that half of the left is into this EV industry. It wouldn't surprise me. Now, look, we need governors like Glenn Youngkin to step up. We need governors that need to stand up and take California. No, we're not doing that. Look, like I said, already 2 states are bringing this in. Ladies and gentlemen, look, the Biden administration permitted this. The Biden administration put its blessing on it, ladies and gentlemen. And that's why California's doing, because California knows what they do to normally states try to do. Like New York, Massachusetts, liberal states, Washington, they're going to go ahead and try to implement this. Ladies and gentlemen, they're going to try to keep up with California. You know, I like how the Democrats, the Republicans are dictators. The Republicans are trying to tell us what to do. Oh, my body, my choice. But everything else, they're trying to tell us what to do, ladies and gentlemen. Can you look? I want to ask. I would like to ask Governor Northam this. Will you? What you gonna do when you can't get a diesel truck or a car? You know, all these bad, or when the grid goes out, or you can't charge a vehicle. Now, ladies and gentlemen, remember, California wants to end sale of gas vehicles in 2035. That's their goal. That's their goal right here. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is watch. This is the problem with EVs. I'm gonna sum it up in one article that I have right here. Because by the time we get to Monday, is Labor Day. There's a lot of people going to be driving. There's going to be a lot of people go and visit their families. There's going to be a lot of people going to be using electricity on Labor Day. This came from Breitbart. Don't charge that electric vehicle. California braces for energy shortage through Labor Day. California will suffer an energy shortage and flex alerts through Labor Day due to high temperatures, and residents will be asked to conserve energy during afternoon and evenings, which means refraining from charging electric vehicles, amongst others. Hoping to avoid a blackout, the California Independent System Operator, which manages the state power grid, warned Thursday that it will probably issue a series of flex alerts over the next several days. Flex alerts are voluntary calls for conservation during the afternoon and evening hours when energy use tends to soar. Residents will be asked to turn up their thermostat to 78 or higher, avoid using dishwashers and other large appliances, and hold off on charging their electric vehicles all during the 4 and 9 p.m. time frame. Ladies and gentlemen, you know the ironic thing about California pushing this? They just signed a bill. They just pushed a bill where they're going to ban the sale of fuel-powered cars. But they're asking Californians to stop charging their vehicle. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the whole problem. First off, look, I'm not going to doubt that one day we're going to have an electric vehicle, or almost everybody's going to be driving electric vehicles. I'm not going to say I'm going to doubt that. But ladies and gentlemen, first off, it's a political pundit. We got to shade the environment. Gavin Newsom said that in an article that I have earlier. That I'm going to quote him, because the climate crisis is solvable, and if we focus on the big, bold steps necessary to stem the trend of carbon pollution. He said this in a statement to the New York Times. Ladies and gentlemen, first off, I'm sorry. If the Earth's going to burn up, I don't care what we do is going to happen. All right? Look, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know how many of y'all read Bible prophecy, but one day this world will burn up. Don't you? If you read the Bible, and that's why you got to accept Jesus Christ, so you won't you see it, but you see it from afar off. God's going to burn this world up and make everything new. He's going to recreate it. He's going to burn it. He's going to take everything man-made had, and he's going to make it new. So this world's going to burn up. It don't matter what Gavin Newsom does. Ladies and gentlemen, this whole thing right here is about control. And it's about the Democrats' war on fossil fuels, ladies and gentlemen. Look, to be honest with you, I'm surprised this came up right before the midterms. But you Republicans, you libertarians, you conservatives out there, you need to go ahead and vote these suckers out. Gavin Newsom is hurting California, and he's starting a trend. This guy wants to run for president, ladies and gentlemen. He will never run against Biden. Bet me $5 on it. Bet me $5. This dude is setting up for a political run for president of the United States. And God forbid this man gets in there. Because Gavin Newsom is hurting our country. And look, like I said, governors like Glenn Youngkin, y'all need to stand up. Y'all need to stand up and fight. American citizens need to call their governors, their senators, and say, we can't have this. Ladies and gentlemen, this whole EV thing, this is all about controlling the American citizen. This ban is one of the most stupid, idiotic, selfish, words cannot describe this bill, how bad it is. But leave it to California. And look, ladies and gentlemen, some states, some idiotic states, oh, that's a good idea. Let's go ahead and stop selling fuel cars. Ladies and gentlemen, look, first off, fossil fuels are never going away. But this is a stupid right here. I'll be right back after this short break. How you doing, everyone? Isaac here, and I am with Phil Kennedy. He is the artist of the Center of the Door album that I have in my hand right here. And Phil, thank you for coming by, and just wanted to ask you a little bit about your album. And does this tell me a little bit of information what led you to make this album?
Thank you, Brother Isaac. I am a songwriter mostly, and firstly, I'm a preacher of the gospel. So the Lord has always blessed me, it seems, with a song, with a sermon for the song. And that seems to be how it started when I first started preaching. So, before you know it, you've written way more songs than you have sermons. And I just like to get a little group of them together now and then. It's the songs I've been singing as I travel to Mexico and this place and that, and preach Oklahoma or wherever else the Lord takes me. And I sing those songs. So I put a little CD together.
Hey, look, I'm going to be honest. It's a great album. Look, even my friend Scott Ford, I sent him a digital copy of it, and he loved it. He said he loved the album. He loved the way you sing, and it's a real big blessing. It's a good blessing for us, man.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And I know that it's available in the digital world. It's available with me physically if you just message me or try to friend me on Evangelist Phil Kennedy Facebook, and the other information I'm sure you can give them.
Right. Well, we know for sure it's on Apple Music and it's on Spotify, where you can find the Cajun Conservative and Brothers. Just searching. Go ahead and look it up after you listen to our podcast. Go listen to a little bit of Phil Kennedy's album, Center of the Door. You'll be blessed. I promise you.
With your blood, cleansed and made us whole. Not one hoof, not one soul.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the second segment of the Cajun Conservative Show. Ladies and gentlemen, no gas vehicles can be sold in California by 2035. Now this raises up another question I just thought about. What about gas pumps? Because look, you think about, okay, they're giving people this 10-year span to go ahead and get rid of all their get rid of all their gas vehicles. So, what about like me? I doubt, and the way California is right now, I doubt I'll never go visit California. But I know a lot of people that are from California. I know, there's a podcast out there. I never met the guy, but he's called the Cali Conservative. He lives, I think, in Los Angeles. What people like that, what they're going to do? And, what if you say, I'm not going to get rid of my vehicle? Look, what if you buy a vehicle in 2034? And it is gasoline. What are they going to do? They're going to start phasing out the gas stations? What are they going to do? Ladies and gentlemen, there's a lot of things. There's a lot of problems with this legislation. But you see, ladies and gentlemen, that's not the point, though. California wants to show that they're the most liberal and the most understanding than any other state in the union. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry. And look, I said this to my dad earlier. We was talking about this and other things. The Democrats are making Americans' life worse. I'm sorry. The Democrat Party, I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. And look, I'm going to use for example, because, it's kind of funny they're pushing EVs all of a sudden when we're having gas shortages. When we're having food shortages. Ladies and gentlemen, my dad owns a dump truck company and I work for him. He's one of the sponsors of this show right here. Ladies and gentlemen, he couldn't find a can of paint. And the man at Lowe's was saying, hey, you better, if you find it, man, cherish it, hurry up and get it done, because we can't find paint. Ladies and gentlemen, under the Democrat rule, under the Biden rule, ladies and gentlemen, you cannot get paint no more. You can't hardly find food no more. You can't find nothing. The shelves are being bare. And, that's a scare tactic, Isaac. No, it's not. It's evident. Inflation down in July. No, it wasn't. Inflation still was going up. The only thing that balanced it out was the gas prices went down. And Biden, I did that. I brought the gas prices down. Really? You weren't running around saying I'm bringing the gas prices up. That's Putin. That's Ukraine. That's the Republicans. That's this. That's that. That's everybody else. But when gas prices go and see what I did, ladies and gentlemen, your life. I'm sorry. And look, I don't know if you're a liberal listening to this, and you probably having smoke coming out of your ears right now. But I can hear all my conservative friends. Yep, you're right. Ladies and gentlemen, the Democrat Party is not helping you. The Democrat Party is hurting you. Ladies and gentlemen, look, when Donald Trump was president, oh, you're going back to Donald Trump. Yes, because guess what? I'm going to prove a point here. Under the Republican leadership of Donald Trump, we had gas prices sitting at $1.79. We had our border secured. You went to Walmart, you found what you wanted at a decent price. Wages were up. You know what stopped all that was COVID-19. Ladies and gentlemen, the Democrat Party couldn't defeat Donald Trump. It took a pandemic to defeat Donald Trump. And also some other things. I'm going to leave it right there. But ladies and gentlemen, when we were under Republican rule, now look, Republicans are not the solution to all your problems, but Democrats are the cause of all your problems. And that is a quote from Dan Bongino. But I believe it. Ladies and gentlemen, the Democrat Party is not helping you. They're not. And ladies and gentlemen, forcing people to buy electric vehicles. Not suggesting, forcing. And people say, well, the president don't have no control over that. The government don't have no control over that. Really? How come they can tell? And that's another thing too, by the way. They're telling private-owned companies like Ford, Chevy, and all these American-made vehicles, you have to go electric. There's no ifs, ands, buts about it. Now you might be asking how? Well, they had bailouts when Obama was there. I'm just saying. Just think about that. Ladies and gentlemen, they're forcing American citizens to do this. And they call Trump a dictator. All right, let's move on. Twitter is attacking free speech again. No shocker. From the Daily Wire, libs of TikTok locked out of Twitter again. Twitter reportedly blocked the popular Libs of TikTok account on Saturday, keeping its owners from posting or logging over alleged violations of social media guidelines. Libs of TikTok has become a pivot Twitter account. Libs of TikTok has become a prevalent Twitter account over its posts that share examples of far-left videos from TikTok, including topics like LGBT activists, critical race theory, and public educational issues. So what it is, ladies, look, and I didn't know what libs from TikTok were. When I first saw libs of TikTok as a conservative, I was like, oh my goodness, liberals are sharing their stuff and they're trying to promote. Come to find out, I think this was a conservative person that went ahead and made this and shows the ridiculous videos of the left. Libs of TikTok, man, has become famous for showing the ideology of the left. And of course, Twitter don't like that. So Twitter hasn't told them what video made them made them get kicked off. But the message reads, you may not promote violence against, threaten, or harass other people on the basis of race, ethnicity, national origin, sexual origin, gender identity, religious affiliation, age, the disability, or serious deceit. The message added, please do not. Please note that the reported violation may lead to a permanent suspension of your account. Proceed to Twitter now to fix the issue with your account. That was the email sent to libs from TikTok. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is the ironic thing about this. Twitter should not ban nothing from libs from TikTok. Why? Because it's just reporting what liberals say. Ladies and gentlemen, and I never did that, but I've seen some commentators do to where they pick certain videos from libs from TikTok and they watch them and they give their opinion of what it. Not Dan Bongino. Matt Walsh is good for that. I just don't have the time and the producer to go ahead and find these videos for me to not see them and then watch them. But ladies and gentlemen, they should not be banned. They shouldn't. You think about it. Libs of TikTok should not be banned because all it's doing is showing you what the left believes, which is what Twitter believes. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you might think, oh, no, they're making fun of these people. They're just showing you videos. And like I said, I don't know if they talk about it. Now, the Babylon Bee, they use that. I never quote the Babylon Bee. There are some funny things on there, but ladies and gentlemen, this is ridiculous from Twitter banning them. You know why they're banning? Because it makes liberals look bad. And ladies and gentlemen, I learned this about liberals or people that lean more to the left. If you make them look bad, guess what? You need to be canceled. If you make them look bad, you can be true what you're saying. But if you make a liberal look bad, you got to be canceled. Why? Because see, ladies and gentlemen, they can make fun of the conservative. They can make fun of the Christian. I get poked at all the time, ladies and gentlemen, because I'm both. I'm a Christian and I'm a conservative. And I get poked at all the time. But ladies and gentlemen, and look, you don't hear no one in the conservative media say, hey, you need to get canceled. You picked on me. You hurt my feelings. No, ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, not unfortunately, because that's a good thing. They have the right to criticize you. They have freedom of speech. I understand it might be hurtful, but ladies and gentlemen, it's funny how it don't matter what the feelings of the Christian or the conservative is. If it hurts the liberal feelings or it hurts somebody on the left's feelings, guess what? You need to be canceled because you're insensitive. But they can crack jokes at us all the time. Have you never watched Saturday Night Live? Yes, Saturday Night Live does pick on liberals here or there, but it's mostly making fun of the conservatives or Christianity. But see, we can't cancel nobody for that. And look, ladies and gentlemen, Christians and conservatives are the only group of people that say, y'all having fun, y'all laugh, but guess what? You have a right to do it. Not the liberals. And ladies, like I said, all libs of TikTok, I'm surprised. Because lib of TikTok is all it is showing the left. The show is promoting what the left is doing. Ladies, it's making them look funny. It's making them look stupid. And guess what? I just came off a whole rant about how Democrats are not helping you. Ladies and gentlemen, all these liberals out there believe in that crap of EVs and stuff like that. And Twitter, look, first of all, Twitter don't like free speech. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what's going on with the Elon Musk situation. We haven't heard anything in a while. But I was hoping Elon Musk would have took this over. Now, Elon Musk is suing because they have some stuff that's going on and everything. I understand all that. But ladies and gentlemen, Twitter at its current form is not helping you. That is one of the entities in this country that is hurting America because it is not allowing free speech. And secondly, it is censoring the conservatives. And that might be in the same thing, but I'm just... Look, I got a Twitter account, ladies and gentlemen. I got a Truth Social account. I got all that. But ladies and gentlemen, Twitter is not helping the conservatives. It is hurting because it's hiding what the left is doing. And it's trying to shut down people that are trying to bring it out. In that case, they're going to shut you down. So, all right, let's move on. So I got some more John Fetterman news. Now, you might be asking who Fetterman is. He is running against Dr. Oz. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry. This individual should not be running for the Senate seat. And the reason being is because I'm about to show you two things he did this week that blew my mind, ladies and gentlemen. That blew my mind. That I'm like, how can this man stay in the Senate seat? How can this man keep on running? How can this man try to beat Dr. Oz? And ladies and gentlemen, look, this is my personal belief on this. I think Fetterman is losing bad. Oh, but the polls don't show that. Show Dr. Oz is losing. Ladies and gentlemen, I learned something about the left. If they are attacking a certain candidate this bad, like they're doing with Dr. Oz, and trying to lift up this man, Fetterman, so much, Dr. Oz is winning. Why? But the polling don't show that. Hey, that's my personal belief, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, to me personally, I know he's a Trump-backed candidate and all that. I wouldn't have voted for Dr. Oz. I think they had way more better Republican candidates that were better. The only reason Dr. Oz won that candidacy is because of his name. That's the beginning of it. Because you notice he went to Democrat. I mean, not the Democrat, the Republican. And look, I'm glad Dr. Oz is saying, look, I need to do something. I understand it. Look, I hope if you live in Pennsylvania, please vote for Dr. Oz. Go ahead and vote for him. Because the reason being is he's the best shot to beat Fetterman. But ladies and gentlemen, they are attacking Dr. Oz so much that makes me believe that he's probably going to win this race in Pennsylvania. But let's go ahead and talk about Fetterman. This came from a news article. Fetterman torched for saying poorer people, minorities, less likely to have ID to vote. Completely racist. That's how it says. Now, this was written by Gabriel Hayes. Oh, Hayes, yay. Conservatives on Twitter respond forcefully to a clip which Pennsylvania Lieutenant Governor and Democratic U.S. Senate candidate John Fetterman claimed that ID shouldn't be required to vote because poorer people and people of color are less likely to have their ID. Critics accuse Fetterman's own comments of being racist and ignorant. Some even dug up a tense altercation from 2013 between him and a black person as additional evidence that Fetterman doesn't respect minorities. The now viral clip of Fetterman, which came from a 2021 interview between him and liberal pundit Brian Taylor Cohorn, featured the candidate perspective on why requiring universal voter ID in Pennsylvania is a bad idea. In it, he said, in my own state, they are going to attempt to pass a constitutional amendment, making sure that universal voting ID for every time you vote, not just when you sign up to vote, but every time you vote. Fetterman explained the alleged dark motive behind this amendment, stating it will be passed because they understand that at any given time, there's tens of thousands of Pennsylvanians who typically are on the poorer side and are poor people of color that are less likely to have their ID at any given time. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to stop it because there is people, Ted Cruz and everyone put it. How is this man still running for Senate? Ladies and gentlemen, I remember when the elections were just happening, and they were talking about changing. Well, no, it was the voting law. I think it was HR 5. I'm not 100% sure, where the Democrats wanted to change the rules, and this was one of the rules that they implemented in there. They were trying to pass to where voting laws, you did not need an ID to vote. That was racist because you're asking a person to provide an ID to prove who you are to vote in this country. How barbaric. And Fetterman's bringing this out again, ladies and gentlemen. And I made a whole video on this, but coming down to a nutshell, I'm going to make a statement I made a few months ago. The only reason you're not voting is because you don't want, or if you don't want to, how did I say that? I'm trying to make sure I made my quote correct. The only reason you don't have an ID vote because you don't want an ID. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry. And look, there are some poor people in America. Normally, the poor people live on the street. The poorest are the homeless. But ladies and gentlemen, normal people have vehicles. Normal people have IDs. It could be a federal ID. It could be a passport. It could be a driver's license. It could just be a regular ID. I remember when I was 16, I went and get one. I think it was like $15 back in the day. It wasn't a lot. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the sole purpose of Democrats not wanting IDs is to cheat. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Look, in California is a clear example of that. You can register as Daffy Duck, and you can go to multiple counties, and you can vote because you don't have to show an ID, as long as you just say the person you are. And ladies and gentlemen, this is I can't think of a simple-minded person to say that's not a good idea. Hey, prove who you are. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is not why he got into the problems, because he said, well, I don't think nobody should have IDs. He basically said the poorer people and the minorities will not have an ID to go vote. And that's voter suppression. We should let everyone know, ladies and gentlemen, there's a tactic around this. Look, you notice it's kind of funny. Every state that implements voter ID, there's less voter fraud. Just being blunt. You go ahead and you talk about an ID. If you ask for an ID, look, Louisiana was bad for that, ladies and gentlemen, back in the 80s. When they didn't have voter IDs, the Democrats won all the time. And that's a whole other issue in itself. It's kind of funny when you don't ask for voter IDs. A Democrat always wins. But when you ask for voter IDs, all of a sudden Republicans start swinging the state. Now, is this racist what he said? You can be the judge of that. I think this is stupid, and this is you're telling people because they don't have an ID, or people you're asking people to prove who you are. Is wrong. It's racist. Because you're targeting black people and you're targeting poorer people. No, ladies and gentlemen, we want to make sure our elections are safe. Every American should want that. But look, Fetterman making a statement like this, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know how. And look, this was done in 2021. Now let's go on to the next thing he did, because this is from Breitbart. John Fetterman declines early September debate against Dr. Oz for stroke recovery. This was released today. Oh no, the 30th of August. Democrat John Fetterman has declined an early September debate against his Republican opponent, Dr. Oz, in Pennsylvania U.S. Senate race. He's recovering from a recent stroke. In a statement on Tuesday evening, Fetterman said that he rejected Dr. Oz's campaign's offer to debate in the first week of September, accusing his Republican opponent of thinking it's funny to mock his stroke recovery. I'm eager to put my record and my values up against Dr. Oz, then why don't you? You get what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen? This is a quote from Fetterman. I'm eager to put my record and my values up against Dr. Oz. Do it. Do it. I'm going to do the same thing the Democrat Party is doing to Herschel Walker in Georgia. Because, ladies and gentlemen, this is hypocrisy at its finest. It's okay for Fetterman to decline a debate. But when Herschel Walker says, I'm not going to do it, he's scared. Warnock's going to go ahead and beat him. Warnock's going to go ahead and wipe the floor with Herschel Walker. He needs to debate him and show what he is. The Democrats said that all over Georgia. But Fetterman is declining? Oh, you got to realize he got a stroke. Then drop out of the race. See, ladies and gentlemen, this is what, if this man is sick and he's recovering from a stroke, he needs to step down. I don't care what his policy. If this was Dr. Oz that caught a stroke, I would say the same thing, because I don't want a sick person in Washington, D.C. making decisions when he don't have the whole, he can't, he won't fathom the whole situation. Ladies and gentlemen, this man is sick. He needs to drop out. He finishing his vote, my values against Dr. Oz any day of the week. He said, I'll debate him any day of the week. As I recover from my stroke and improve my ability of processing and speech, I look forward to continue to meet with people of Pennsylvania. Listen to what he just said, ladies and gentlemen. As I recover from my stroke and improve my ability processing. Ladies and gentlemen, he's still processing. He's still recovering. Ladies and gentlemen, he held an event the other day. And ladies and gentlemen, he only talked for 5 minutes. Like I said, I'm not against this man running. If this man was 100% healed, hey, run. But this man caught a stroke and he's still in recovery. That is the reason why he don't want to debate Dr. Oz. But I can hear the Democrats, but you got to understand, he's sick. If he's sick, he needs to drop out. And look, if you are in Pennsylvania, my listeners of Pennsylvania, please vote Dr. Oz. Because look, this is retarded. This is dumb. I'm sorry. This man is sick. And this man cannot fully comprehend what he's doing right now. If he cannot debate against Dr. Oz, how is he going to handle the stress and the office of the Senate? I don't think he will. And this is ironic. This is hypocrisy at its finest. Because the Democrats want to crucify Herschel Walker in Georgia because he don't know what he's doing. But they want to promote a man in Pennsylvania that is sick and cannot process the duties of the Senate. Maybe they want that. Maybe the Democrat Party want that because he could be a puppet in their show. And they could tell him what to do and what to vote. They were already going to do it anyway. I'll be right back after this short break.
Cheers and good on you, boys and girls. My name is Scott Ford, and I have a show on Rumble. It's the Scott Ford Show, all in one word, the Scott Ford Show, and it's on Rumble. And I also have a motivational success show on YouTube. So go ahead and subscribe and ring that bell. That would mean a lot to me. Enjoy your life. Thank you, Isaac. God bless.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the third and final segment of the Cajun Conservative Show. I had to cut the break. I had to cut my thoughts short a little bit because of the last segment ran a little over. But let's go back to Fetterman a little bit, ladies and gentlemen. And this is why I say this is hypocrisy at its finest. Because you have Fetterman that is bluntly telling us he's sick. That's the reason why I can't go ahead and debate Dr. Oz, because I am ill. And ladies and gentlemen, like I said in the last segment, this rises to the question: why are you running for the Senate, ladies and gentlemen? And look, if you are voting in Pennsylvania, please vote Dr. Oz. Look, Dr. Oz was not my first choice. I don't live in Pennsylvania, but when I heard he was running, I don't think Dr. Oz should have run. But ladies and gentlemen, he's in the primary. I mean, he's in the general election. And ladies and gentlemen, look, Fetterman will not be a good senator for the people of Pennsylvania. Ladies and gentlemen, in his own quote, he said that he's still in recovery. Ladies and gentlemen, this man should be home. Look, first, he's still the lieutenant governor of Pennsylvania. He should resign, because I don't think he can fully comprehend what's going on. If you cannot debate your political opponent, ladies and gentlemen, you need to step aside. I'm sorry. Just plain and simple on that note right there. You should just go ahead and step aside and say, no, I'm not going that way. No, I'm not going to do that, because this whole thing is, you know. And look, ladies and gentlemen, we know why they're trying to keep Fetterman in there. First off, they don't have time to get a candidate. If this happened prior to the primaries, which he did catch a stroke before the primaries, but he was the leader and he still continued to run, and he got the nomination. I believe he got the Democratic nomination. But ladies and gentlemen, this is all for control of the Senate as well. For them to keep control of the Senate, they're going to put a person that is sick. Because ladies and gentlemen, look, there's a lot of people that will beg the difference with me, to say that it will not come down to Georgia and Pennsylvania. I beg the difference. Ladies and gentlemen, there is some stories out there that Ohio, the Senate seat in Ohio, might go blue. It might, because it's a swing state and people don't like what the Republicans are doing. Ladies and gentlemen, people don't like what the Democrats are doing. But ladies and gentlemen, Ohio's going to go red. I believe that. What I've seen and the detail I got. And ladies and gentlemen, look, I know Dr. Oz is losing in Pennsylvania, but there's a reason why the mainstream media and people are attacking Dr. Oz like they're doing. If Dr. Oz was losing, or Dr. Oz was not bringing up steam, they wouldn't be attacking him. But they are. And they're trying to show people why Fetterman should be the better candidate. And I know it's a campaign, I know all that, but ladies and gentlemen, if they were winning as much as they think they're winning in Pennsylvania, Dr. Oz wouldn't be getting attacked. Same thing with Herschel Walker in Georgia, ladies and gentlemen. Attacking him for the Democrats are attacking him because he didn't want to do a debate, but they're encouraging Fetterman not to have a debate. And ladies and gentlemen, look, it's going to come down to Georgia. And ladies and gentlemen, look, I'm going to be honest with you. The Senate is the Republicans to lose. I'm sorry. The only one that can lose it for the Republicans are the Republicans. Joe Biden, it was a lamed up president until the last 4 months. Then all of a sudden he gets these big wins. He gets all kind of stuff going for him. Some of his legislations passed. Now the polling's showing that more Democrats are enthusiastic to go vote for him. Now the Republicans are scrambling. Oh my goodness, they're gonna lose. Ladies and gentlemen, if they lose the Senate and they lose the House of Representatives, they lost it. You know why? Because the last 4 months, the Republicans have helped pass legislation for Biden to get these wins. What you mean, Isaac? Well, let's go ahead and talk about the Inflation Reduction Act. It shouldn't have never passed, ladies and gentlemen, but because the Republicans folded to the CHIPS bills that was stopping the Inflation Reduction Act. See, and that's the whole thing, ladies and gentlemen. That could have passed with Republican help when Republicans took over the Senate and took over the House. No, they decided to pass it because the Democrats are good faith. Then when the Democrats didn't have nothing to hold back on the Inflation Reduction Act, guess what? It was passed. And the Republicans, I can't believe they did that. They told us they weren't going to pursue that. Democrats lie. Republicans lie too, but not as much as Democrats. But ladies and gentlemen, that was a Republican-led thing. Ladies and gentlemen, gun control was dead in the water until John Cornyn and backstabbing Cassidy and other people that were in the Senate, Republicans, said, we gotta go with the Democrat Party. And guess what? That's a win for Biden. So that helps Biden and the Democrats out. See, now the Republicans are all scrambling. Why we're down in the polls? Because y'all done it yourselves, ladies and gentlemen. You know, the Republican Party wouldn't have done anything it would have been slam dunk wins for the House and the Senate. I'm sorry. That's how I feel. And ladies and gentlemen, there still is a good shot. And like I said, it's going to come down to Georgia and it's going to come down to Pennsylvania. Ladies and gentlemen, I see Herschel Walker. There's new polling that came out that showed him and Brian Kemp are leading. Brian Kemp was not my first choice, but hey, vote, the lesser two evils, vote for Brian Kemp. Let's not, because you think about it, if you put Stacey Abrams in there, Georgia, you're really in trouble. You're in trouble bad. And Herschel Walker. You know, ladies and gentlemen, Randolph Warnock, just think about this, doubled his income since he's been in the Senate. Only been there for 2 years. Doubled his income since he's been sworn in. How does that happen? Might be getting some money from somebody, ladies and gentlemen. Herschel Walker might know football, but I think Herschel Walker will make a good senator. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to come down to these two Senate seats right here. And I think this is why. And look, I've been talking about Fetterman a lot for the last couple of weeks. Look, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know all his policies. I don't know everything that he stands for. But ladies and gentlemen, this man is sick. And the Democrat Party, to hold on to that power of to hold on to the American people and to keep them in bondage. Because remember the first, was it the first segment? I believe, yeah, the first segment I said Democrats won't help you. Democrats will not help. The Democrats have not helped you in any way, shape, or form. They have hurt this nation more than anything. But these two Senate races, it's going to come down to the Republican Party taking over the House. The House is the Republicans. Like I said, unless the Republicans do something stupid, which does not pass my mind, ladies and gentlemen, they're going to win the House. That's evident. But yeah, Mitch McConnell running around. Oh, I don't know about the Senate. I don't know why we should be winning the Senate. Ladies and gentlemen, the Republicans did it to themselves. And look, like I said, there's new poll, and this is a whole funny thing too. Like same thing happened with gas prices. We talked about gas prices at the first segment. Oh, Joe Biden raising gas prices is going to help his numbers. Oh, he passed his own bills. He's going to help. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry. They've done more harm. And will people look at that and voting? I think there will be some people. Well, Biden was bad until the last couple of months, and he's been doing so good. I'm going to vote for him again. Almost dropped my mic right there. Ladies and gentlemen, these races right here are very important. And I know I started talking about Fetterman, but ladies and gentlemen, I ran on a rant. But when it comes down to the line, it's sad that the Democrat Party is going to put somebody that's ill. And I know what some of you might be thinking, well, the president. Well, hey, that's your opinion. All right, let's move on. So I got an article here. If I can get the iPad to work. Yeah, so sticking in Pennsylvania of all places. Pennsylvania governor calls for more stimulus checks. It's kind of funny. Now, look, let's talk about races. I notice Democrats help each other out a lot. Pennsylvania is a very, very close state right now. It's one of the most intense swing states out there, especially now that we got Fetterman and Dr. Oz running. We just broke almost all that down. But listen to this. Pennsylvania wants to add more stimulus checks. This is why I'm bringing this out right here, because adding stimulus checks would definitely would increase the inflation, especially in Pennsylvania, if Pennsylvania is giving these checks out. But listen to what the governor said. He calls for more stimulus checks, says it's mind-boggling anyone would worry about more inflation. Governor Tom Wolf, Democrat, Pennsylvania, renewed a push to greenlight a $2,000 stimulus check for Pennsylvanians earning $80,000 or less. Wolf argued during the Monday event in Scottsboro, Pennsylvania, that the Pennsylvania Opportunity Program will help families cope with surging inflation. The initiative would cost $500 million and draw funds from the state's $15 billion budget surplus. We can actually help families get life-saving Medicaid out of the state fund. We can help families stay in their homes. Wolf says we can help families afford to eat. Why on earth will we do it? Especially now, again, when we have the money sitting in the bank. Pennsylvania Republicans, who control both chambers of the state legislature, have spawned the proposal over concerns of indicting additional inflation, a claim Wolf rejects. It's just mind-boggling the sense that's giving somebody who is trying to put food on the table or pay the rent that is somehow inflationary. When how many trillions of dollars do we give away to the very wealthy during the Trump years in tax breaks? He continued, other Democrats governors have opposed virtual stimulus measures as living expenses remain elevated. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, year over year, inflation reached 8.5 in July in 2022, with a slight moderation from the 9.1 reading previous month by the lower energy prices, even as costs for food, new vehicle, Medicaid, and shelter continue to rise. Then they go to talk about our good friend, Nutty Norsom, Governor Norsom. Regions out a $300 billion state budget that includes $195 billion in emergency rental assistance, $1.4 billion to help citizens pay utility bills, and so on. But ladies and gentlemen, listen to this Democrat. This ain't a Republican saying this. This is a Democrat. It's just mind-boggling. Anyone will worry about more inflation. Now, ladies and gentlemen, look, I am not for kicking people out of their homes. If people are suffering, I understand. There is government programs right now that help people stay in homes. There is government programs right now that help people get food on the table. Ladies and gentlemen, listen to this. They want to give a $2,000 stimulus check. $2,000. That, and I don't know if this is a month for every month for a year or whatever. But ladies and gentlemen, look, okay, I understand. They have a $15 billion surplus. That's good. Do you know why Pennsylvania 9 out of 10 got a $15 billion budget surplus? Because it's run by Republicans, not the Democrat. The Democrat governor is Tom Wolf. But ladies and gentlemen, both chambers are run by the Republican Party. And that's maybe why you got a surplus, because we're called conservatives. And listen how he puts this in a nutshell. We actually want to help families get life-saving Medicaid out of state funds. We can help families stay in their homes, Wolf said. We can help families afford to eat. Why on earth wouldn't we do that, especially now? Again, we have the money sitting in the bank. See, ladies and gentlemen, do you know, look, there's 2 points I want to make right here. One, the Democrats think if there's money to spend, let's spend it. There's nothing about saving, ladies and gentlemen. You know, some of the most successful people and the most successful business out there have a surplus. They save their money just in case for a rainy day. And ladies and gentlemen, what if something happens major in Pennsylvania that you're giving all these people the money and you don't have to pay for a disaster? Just think about that. And also, ladies, listen to how he says this. Why we won't actually help families. Why we couldn't help people. And see, he's basically telling the Republican legislation, man, y'all heart coldless, y'all no good what? See, ladies and gentlemen, what he's doing is he's trying to make you say, oh, the Republican Party don't want to help people. The Republican Party, all they care is about the rich people. All they care about is giving tax break to the 1%. Oh! Ladies and gentlemen, that's what he's doing. Tom Wolf is trying to shame the Republican Party into doing something that's going to hurt this nation. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to raise this. Look, and listen to how it's mind-boggling. I like how the article says, why would anyone care about more inflation? I care because, ladies and gentlemen, I'm paying we're going to use the recent numbers, but remember, inflation peaked at 9.1, the highest in ever since 40 years, since the Carter administration. I care because that means I'm paying 8 to 9% more for goods that I paid for a year ago. Ladies and gentlemen, think about this, okay? We're paying close to 9% more than a year. That's 1 year ago. Biden took over in 2021, ladies and gentlemen. Just remember that. I'm going to pull it back to the first segment on this point. When Trump was elected, we had problems, but when Trump left, we had $1.79 of gas. We had food on the shelves. We had higher wages. We had all this, but you have this Democrat governor in Pennsylvania. Why would anybody care about more inflation? We're helping people. It's doing like this, ladies and gentlemen. It's you're doing this. I'm helping people get more money. I'm giving people money to spend and help the economy. but you have to print that money and give. Inflation is going to go up in their state. And ladies and gentlemen, this is you should think this about a Democrat. I'm sorry if you're a Democrat, if I offend you, I apologize in advance. I did not mean to hurt your feelings, but the truth sometimes hurts. And sometimes the truth is offensive, especially if you're doing something wrong. This right here is a typical Democrat's thinking. We have money, let's spend it. Heck on the inflation, heck on everything else. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to hurt Pennsylvania, but it's also going to hurt this country. And I'm serious. I think every Democrat thinks this way. We're spending money. Who cares about inflation? We don't care about inflation because, ladies and gentlemen, 9 out of 10, the taxpayer is paying for the government employee, which is the senators and the congressmen and the president. Ladies and gentlemen, and look, when I read stuff like this, it really gets me upset. Because, ladies and gentlemen, you have Democrats out there with this same mind thinking that, who cares about inflation? Why we helping people? We're helping people. And they make the Republicans like we don't care. But the thing of it is, ladies and gentlemen, if inflation goes up, it don't matter how many stimulus packages you give. You're still going to be paying an arm and a leg for things. Now, this also goes to another whole question right here. Why should the government hand out money? I didn't agree with it when Trump did it. I wasn't doing a podcast at the time, but if I was, I probably would go ahead and say this is a wrong move. Why should the government help people? I'm just being blunt. Now, look, I understand the welfare system. I understand food stamps. I understand all that. That is assistance, but those entities were set up. They're not set. They're messed up now. But those entities were set up to help people in times of trouble to get back on their feet. Now people rely on this. People live off of the welfare system. People live off of food stamp. The government is giving people free cell phones now. And now some people in the government want to give them $2,000 checks. Now, like I said, I don't know if it's a month or one-time thing or whatever. But ladies and gentlemen, the government, you should not rely on the government for anything, ladies and gentlemen. And I can hear people, well, what you did with the stimulus checks when they sent them to me, I cashed them. What you want me to do? But return back the sender? Which they're going to send it right back to me? Okay, and look, and I'm not going to lie. I used that money for good things. Look, with me and my family, we were struggling at the time, and guess what? We used it to help. The government gave it to us. We used it. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm not for it. If I had a chance to tell them no, I probably wouldn't have took it. Ladies and gentlemen, this is all to shape the American people to rely on the government so socialistic ideas can come ahead. Because, ladies and gentlemen, the government is, especially in Pennsylvania, this is why Tom Wolf believes this way, and I believe every Democrat believes this way. If we can get people to rely on the government, we can tell them what to say, we can tell them what to do, we can tell them how to act, which they're all trying to do right now. Ladies and gentlemen, we are inching closer and closer to a socialistic country. And guess what? In a socialistic country, the government takes care of you. The government gives you the finances. Government tells you what job you can have. All this stuff, ladies and gentlemen. And the Democrat Party are trying to mold the minds of American people to rely on the government. And guess what? You shouldn't rely on the government. You should rely on your abilities. Well, first off, as a Christian, I trust the Lord. That's my first hope. Hey, I trust Jesus Christ. He's my Lord and Savior. He's going to provide for me. He's going to take care of me. Then secondly, I wake up out of my bed every single day and jump on a dump truck or do a job to where I can make money to provide for my family so I don't have to live off the government. And unfortunately, there's people, especially lazy people, that are going to go ahead and try. And look, earning $80,000 or less. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't make $80,000 a year. I wish, I hope one day, maybe through this show or through Brother Just Searching or some way or another, I can make a lot of money. It'll be blessed. It'll be a blessing. But ladies and gentlemen, these people that are asking the government for more and more money, 9 out of 10 are just lazy bums that live in the basement of their mom and dad's house. And look, I'm sorry. Look, like I said, I don't make $80,000. You don't need to know my whole income, but I don't make more than $80,000. Let's just say that. And ladies and gentlemen, me and my family survives. Why? Because I bust my butt, I feed my family, and I make sure my bills are paid. And I'm not relying on the government to give me a $2,000 check. And if you're in Pennsylvania, you shouldn't either if you're a conservative. But I tell you, you should call your governor's office if you live in Pennsylvania and say, hey, you don't want us to care about inflation? That's a boneheaded, stupid move. And Tom Wolf needs to go, my opinion. All right, everybody, that's going to end this show for today. I want to thank you for listening to the Cajun Conservative Show. Please do me a favor, hit the like, hit the subscribe button on the platform you're listening on. I don't ask for money. I just ask for a like and a share. So tell your friends. Remember, Jesus Christ is coming back, and he's coming back soon. So don't be faint of heart. Because remember, Jesus Christ has taken care of everything. So until next time, be blessed, be encouraged. You have a good one. See you next time.
And he is the open